Hello. Come here. Oh. Say hello, everybody. Say hello, everybody. Give your mama kisses. Say hi. It's spooky time. So, welcome to VlogOWeen Day 3. Day 3, VlogOWeen. Ugh. I'm tired. I got my puppy. I got my drink. And I'm back. I'm back to tell you about the haunted house in Fisher. And this isn't my story. Again, it's one of those, like, somebody else's haunted house. But I've been to the place, and it was creepy. It was really creepy. My sister met her husband. Gosh, it had to be 79, 80, somewhere in there. But my sister met her husband, and her husband, they lived in Fisher, which Fisher is 9 miles from Grand Forks, maybe? It's like one of those, like, half-an-hour drive. I mean, it's really easy to get to. And Fisher is also, like, up by Crookston and that area. I don't really know that area all that well. Also, where Alfonso, whatever his name is, Alfonso Rodriguez, where he was from, the man who kidnapped Drew Shadeen and killed her, he was from there. So, sorry, trying to see what the puppy is doing. And anyway, they lived in a house with his parents and all of their siblings, and they came from a big family, and they used to be beet farmers. Hang on, I gotta let the dog out. Alright, so, my brother-in-law's family were all beet farmers, and they used to live in Texas, and their Texas house was haunted too. There's a lot of ghost stories from Texas. So anyway, when my oldest sister got married, because it was like my younger sister married the older brother, and the older brother married my younger brother married older sister, and then my younger sister married the oldest brother, something like that. But they were going to have a wedding, and I was 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 10, I think it was 10. We had to go out to this farm, because they lived in a trailer out behind the house. And, of course, my sister would talk about the ghosts and the things that would happen at this house. Apparently, back in the day, a guy had been electrocuted. Like, him and his son were electrocuted. I think it was, like, in 2 separate things, but they both died. There was, like, a lot of death on this farm or something. Doors would come open and bang shut, and my sister at the time didn't think anything about it, because, you know, the 2 youngest boys were in the house, and they came running, screaming that all the doors were banging, opening, and closing. Well, my sister thought maybe it was the wind, because it was a windy day, so she thought it was the wind. She would hear voices that would call her husband's name, and, like, sound like the family members, and there'd be no one there. There would be cars, phantom cars that would drive up to the house. That you would hear the car drive up, and there'd be no car. My brother-in-law I actually saw a woman float through the window. He was sleeping one night and got woken up and couldn't move, terrified, and this white woman was floating outside the window, and she like floated through the window at them. Scared him to death. That story I've heard a lot. Their sister, my brother-in-law's sister, she was sleeping one night and the mattress like totally lifted up on her, like folded up on her, like with her in the bed, and both ends of the mattress like folded up on her. Mom, the mother would have people calling their names. The dad one time was standing there looking out the window or at the door, out the back door, and he said there was a little tiny man, laying in the grass going, "Come here." And he was like, this, little man is out there and he wants me to come here. And he got freaked out. And these people were not, they were very religious, they were very believable, they were very hardworking, honest people. So when they tell me these stories, I believe them. There was the house, and then there was like a garage, like a Quonset garage, and then the trailer. And when you walked by this garage, it gave the creepiest vibes ever. I remember seeing the little black square windows that ran along, and I felt like there was people looking at me. One time the cousins all came over and we all thought it would be fun to go find the ghost. So we all went in the closet and sat in the closet and called the ghosts. Well, nothing happened, but it was creepy. I mean, we freaked ourselves out, I'm sure. But that place had a vibe, and it had a lot of loss, and it had a lot of just creepy things, and I'm sure they have a lot more stories, I just didn't hear them all. So, that was my Fisher story, my little haunted story for Vlogmas, not Vlogmas, God, why do I keep saying Vlogmas? For VlogOWeen. If you're ever in the area, there's a couple of haunts in Grand Forks. There's a really cool one up in Red Lake Falls that's like an hour or two away. I think it's an hour away. That one is fun. The Haunted Woods is really good, and I will put the link down below for that. And I'm sorry today's is so kind of short and rambly, but I don't know. I'm don't even know if people are interested in these stories. But if you are, great. If not, that's cool too. I'm ready for Halloween. So, I can't believe it's already October 3rd. Already. So, alright. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Should I talk about some more? I'm like, do I want to include more? Or do I want to stick with specific stories that are specific for... Because the next story I have, I probably could talk about. Because we moved to Wayzata, Minnesota, which is where my mother was from. Well, she was from Plymouth, but we moved to Wayzata when I was in 8th or 9th grade. I lived in Portland, and I lived in Eugene, Washington State, but nothing spooky happened there, so I don't really have any stories there. But when we moved to Wayzata, I moved around a lot. Nothing spooky happened. There was no spooky anything. And then one night I come home and my parents were telling me that there was a boom in the basement. And I'm like, well, there can't be a boom in the basement. I blew it off. I was like, whatever. But my whole family was there and they all heard it. So one night, we were all watching movies upstairs, and boom! I mean, it was like, it sounded like someone had taken my dad's weight bench, like the weights, the weightlifting. It sounded like someone had taken the weights and thrown the weights across the room. It was like a crashing boom noise of like the weights either being thrown or dropped. But when we went down there, nothing. And that was the only thing that happened in the Wayzata house. Like, I can't even tell you any spooky stories about Wayzata. Wayzata is an old beach town in Minnesota. Minneapolis has way more spooky stories than Wayzata. Just, there was some creepy cemeteries, but nothing else that was too creepy. Sorry, I'm freaking myself out now. I'm getting scared. I'm hearing noises. Alright, guys. But yeah, that's my VlogOWeen Day 3. Not a lot to tell you again. Next one is going to be talking about the ultimate evil and Bismarck and my connection to that story. So stay tuned, and we will see you next time. See you tomorrow for Day 4. Good night.